welcome to FinextraTV. I'm Hannah Wallace and we're here at Merchants Payments Ecosystem in Berlin. With me now in the MasterCard Press Lounge is Josef Claassen from Aiia. Josef, thank you very much for taking the time out of the busy event to come join us.
Thank you, Hannah.
Really good to have you on. We're talking about open banking and the subject of your keynote, which is entering an era of payments acceptance, a really interesting one. But first, I want to take a step back and address this increase of open banking providers. There's no doubt we're seeing a rise there. So what I want to hear about is what makes your open banking approach unique. So let's start there.
Absolutely. Very true, there are a lot of providers out there. I think there are two things that I would definitely say that Aiia stands out very far from the rest. One is our commitment to quality, the way in which we test our quality as we build it out, and the way in which we work with partners as we grow in new markets, completely wrapping our arms around them, making sure that we start with a simple use case and grow that out from there so that they gain confidence in the market, and also we together grow our platform together. That's really important. And the second thing I would say is the ability to ensure the privacy of the individual is paramount at all points. You're talking about open data, sharing personal bank data with other institutions, other companies. Super important to have such a robust data privacy and components of your business.
That's right. Well, thank you very much for bringing us up to date there, Josef. And I know this week there's been a really exciting announcement about the collaboration with Paytrail. So it'd be great if you could expand on that and tell us what it means for the merchants.
Absolutely. So Paytrail is based in Finland, and they serve huge segment of the e-commerce space in Finland. We've extended our collaboration. We're now processing millions of payments every month with them. What it means for merchants, what it means for the ecosystem, it means that it's such a great proof point of open banking to say that, okay, we're processing such a large portion of e-commerce payments in a economy which is so digital, and where people are so used to having a digital experience and embedded as a digital experience, but also where trust is really important, where it's really important for Finnish people to know that they have a very secure mechanism for payments, and being able to do that through open banking is fantastic. So it's just a proof point that open banking works, it works at scale, and it really adds value both for merchants but end consumers.
Sure, a really positive partnership there. And I know Aiia's been in the open banking game and landscape for quite some time now, as you say. So what would you highlight as the winning use cases beyond e-commerce then?
That's a great question. I think there are one particular that I would definitely highlight. We recently launched something called Pay by Link. It's the capacity for any business, anywhere, to add a link, a payment link to any medium. So you could send an invoice with a link and request a payment that way. You could send a text message to a customer and say, by the way, here's, nice to have you on the call center. Here's the payment request as we discussed, and right from that text message they could make a payment. Or in an email, so in any medium you're able to send a request for payment. So that's a really great feature. What that enables is that you can both create instant payments or payments directly, but you also make a payment in the future. So you could say, okay, the invoice is due in 3 months from now. Let's authorize it right now so it doesn't get lost, it doesn't disappear in your inbox, in your junk box, whatever. But you authorize it immediately, and both parties now know, okay, it's settled and sorted, and in 3 months' time or whenever the invoice is due, that payment is going to go through. And I think that's a fantastic feature, both in terms of managing cash flow, but also ensuring that there's better connectivity between merchants and their customers.
Incredibly helpful as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you for sharing those use cases with us. So coming off your keynote session then, entering this new era of payments acceptance and taking into account your collaboration and this uptake of open banking, taking all of that into account then, what do you think this space holds for the future, and how will the merchants benefit moving forward?
I think there are three things. One is the ability to create sort of embedded use cases for customers, right? So you as a business, you get really good at one thing, one product that you're fantastic at. But payments is part of that exchange of that product, right? So you build this fantastic product, but then you need to exchange it with your customer for some value. Ensuring that that exchange of value happens in a trusted and sort of brand friendly and environment that you yourself has created, that's super important. And that's something we are striving towards. Number two is tokenization. So part of becoming more personalized and more tailored to the individual is being able to remember who they are and being able to sort of create a token around that. Something that MasterCard is doing in the card space, for example, with Click to Pay, but also something in open banking that we're working towards. And then the last thing is trust. Right? At the end of the day, it's not so much about a payment itself, but it's a sort of mechanism whereby we exchange trust and exchange value. So I think those are the three things that are definitely...
So watch this space, it's safe to say. Tokenization, a really exciting one as well. But yes, it's already getting a lot more busy behind us. So I'll let you get back to the event, but thank you so much for sharing your insights.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for having me.